Okay. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maya. Today I'm doing a January reading wrap up, February TBR, and also like my stats for January. I'm just gonna jump into it because I really don't have too much time to edit tonight. So I want to make this as simple as possible. So I'm gonna start with my stats because I feel like that's pretty easy. My book reading goal for this year is 50 books, and I'm currently 14% of the way through that goal, and I'm ahead by 3 books, which is nice because I have a heavy course load and I also work. I'm interning, so I wanted to make it easier for myself. I technically will have read a total of 9 books by the end of this month, but right now I read 2,666 pages. I don't know what that says about me. My top mood was emotional, and then it would have been tense and then dark, which is also interesting. And then the rest were reflective, lighthearted, funny, mysterious, hopeful, and then challenging, kind of all equally dispersed on the pie chart. In terms of pace, 86% of the books were medium paced, and then 14% of the books were fast paced. I'm currently reading one right now that I think will qualify as fast paced. In terms of page number, I read 5 books that are between 300 and 499 pages long, and then 1 book over 500 pages and 1 book less than 300 pages. I read all fiction. And then my top genre for this month was romance, which is so interesting because I feel like I read a lot of literary fiction. My top 2 were romance and contemporary, which makes sense because I feel like I read more contemporary. At the bottom is literary. And then the format of the pages that I read 3 books on my Kindle app, and I read the rest as a paperback. And so yeah, my average star rating right now sits at a 4.88. I had a really good reading month, so that's super exciting, and now I'm gonna get started. I think I should put these in order. I started off the month. Okay, I started off the month as actually a digital book by finishing The Quaterback Sneak, which is I think the 3rd book in the Fair Catch series by Candy Steiner. No, it's the Red Zone Rival. And this one, I think she's the coach's daughter. Let's look. I genuinely don't remember, but I gave it a high rating, surprisingly, so it must have been good. Oh wait, I wrote a lot actually. I said I have to write a review for this because this was just wild. I'm gonna start off by saying that this was probably my favorite book in the series, but the characters had me dying for no apparent reason. It's like Candy. Oh, I remember. Oh my gosh, yeah, the characters were so unique. Okay, I said it's like Candy went on random topic generator website and it spat out football player who likes gardening with a shared trauma as his girlfriend, and then she refreshed the page. And then she refreshed the page and got coach's daughter who studies sports medicine, pole dances, and loves to bake, and loves to go to garage sales. Oh my god. I said it's so random but unique. It was my first time reading this trope and it wasn't super cringy and annoying. The 3rd act conflict really felt like there was a lot on the line, so it made it so much better. So it made the ending so much better. Sorry if this made no sense. I got no sleep last night. I said 4.5 out of 5 stripper poles. That is so funny. I always do my ratings like whatever out of like something that has to do with the book. So, but that only happens when I write a review. I don't always do that. But yeah, I started off with that book, and then I finished The Silent Patient, which was so good. I didn't get the twist at first because, oh, I can't say it without spoiling the book, but it's so good. It's about a lady who shoots her husband and then stops speaking, and this therapist goes to the psych ward that she's at and like tries to figure out why she never spoke again after that incident. And the whole time you're getting like present day and past mixed in kind of, and you're also getting like journal entries. It was so fast paced, super interesting. I just was kind of in a slump, so I didn't really fly through that book, but I know if I like wasn't in the mindset that I was in while reading that, I definitely would have like flown through that book because it was really good. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I said the book was a little slow to the punch. That is true. The first 100 pages were a little Plot twist was so unexpected. I gave it 4 out of 5 painters. And read the book and you'll know why. Actually, I don't think it's a spoiler, but oh well. And then I finished Assembly by Natasha Brown, and this is about a black girl who is going to a gathering with her white boyfriend's family, and she's kind of going through this whole internal conflict with herself because she's going through like a traumatic life experience at the time. I don't know if and the story really deals with race and class as a whole, and like I really want to go back and reread it and kind of like tab certain things because I felt like there were a lot of points that were made. And yeah, she's basically the whole time just trying to debate with herself about whether or not she wants to stay with him. But I did really like this book. I think I gave it 5 stars. If not, I gave it 4.5 or something. I gave it 5 stars. I didn't give it a review. does not like me, but I really like it, and I love this cover. Hot pink girly till I die. Okay, next book that I ended up finishing was Icebreaker, and that was also on my Kindle. It was on Kindle Unlimited, but you TikTok made me buy it, so I bought it and I wrote a review. I know I did. Yes. I wrote so many icks, plus this book was entirely too long. Very true. They literally got together. Oh, I can't say that because it's a spoiler, but they got together and it's just like, I don't know, I was kind of bored after that, and the book was so long and there were so many like I have a lot of icks because she was like, it was like a reverse Grumpy Sunshine, I think that's what people call it. Like, she was the grumpy one, he was like golden retriever, super happy, whatever. I don't know. I think she didn't hold up her grumpy act for that long, so she kind of kept letting her guard down, so it was like, all right, give it up. I don't know. I think I'm kind of petty. I did give it 3 stars. I thought it was like an book, but it was too long for me. If it were shorter and it still had the same kind of trope, I would appreciate it a little bit more. It had like 2 main conflicts in the story, and I think there could have just been 1. Humbly. I'm rambling. Okay, the next book that I read was Misfit by L. Kennedy. Who recommended this to me? Larry Reeds recommended this, and not personally, but I watched her video and she said it was really good, so I picked it up because I read The Deal, I read The Mistake, and I think there's one in between, but I wasn't really like a fan of that series, and like, I don't know, hockey boys just don't do it for me. I'm more like a basketball fan, which is why I loved, it's by not Kennedy Ryan. Oh, Kennedy Ryan. Yeah, but I'm blanking, but that series, I'll put it up. I read like all the books that are out, really like it. So yeah, in terms of like a romance book, I really couldn't get into the hockey thing, but this is like a prep school book and I liked it. They're all like rich kids with a lot of problems, and they go to this super expensive rich boarding school, but the one main character in this book, he doesn't come from a wealthy background, and he ends up going to this school with his new stepbrother, which is also kind of like a last minute thing, and he falls for the dean's daughter. Yeah, it's pretty good. I do like it. It is a big book. Yeah, okay, it's like 400 pages, but yeah, I did really enjoy it. And the second book comes out this month, I think. If not, it's March 23rd. But I'm so excited to read it, and I think I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. We'll see. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I didn't write a review. Darn it. Okay, the next book that I finished, oh my god, I'm literally gonna cry. This is a 6-star read for me, and I don't care what anyone else has to say. It is Shane and Eva till I die. These two are like my fave. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but I tabbed the living heck out of this book. Like, oh my god, I love these two so much. It's about like kind of high school sweethearts, and something happened between them and they became super distant with each other, but ever since then they have been writing about each other in their books. They're both authors, and then they reunite at what is it called, like an award ceremony, and then they have like another week together, and they like kind of like rekindle their love, maybe. I don't know, I hope this isn't a spoiler. Yeah, they begin to like reconnect, and it's amazing, and it's definitely dark. It has some very dark tropes. I wasn't expecting that, but their love is truly everything, and there were so many just like funny moments in this book that I could relate to as a black girl, and I really need to start picking up more just black authors and more black romance books, because this book takes the cake. This is already going to be at the top of my list for this year. Probably one of the top books that I've read. Nothing can compare, nothing will compare. 6 stars. It is off my thing. I wonder if I wrote a review for it. I know I wrote 5, but on my story graph I put 5.75 because it's like the highest I can do. All I wrote on Goodreads was 6 stars, I need more of them. That's so true. I literally need like 365 days in a year. Like 7 days in June is not cutting it. Write me a dissertation. And then like the last book that I have finished is Daisy Haites, which surprisingly I enjoyed. We need to have a discussion about this book in the comment section. I really liked Magnolia in the first book, and then I started to really hate her in this book. But the next book is about her, and I don't want to read it because I don't like her anymore. Am I annoying? I don't know. I still hate BJ. I think he's the worst, but whatever. I think she needs to move on from him. But her writing is just so engaging. Like, I cannot rave about it more. Like, my roommate, she knows I'll put down the book and I'll just immediately start ranting about like the characters and stuff, but I'm like, but I love this book so much. that's how I felt about this. I'm more invested in their love story more so than Magnolia and BJ. I don't care if she's the blueprint, she's really not. Daisy and Christian for life. I'm rooting for you. I am rooting for you. And I've heard so many people say that The Great Undoing, which is the second book in the Daisy Haites like series, is like people's like downfall, and I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, I've seen like posts on like the Magnolia Parks universe Instagram, and everyone's like, The Great Undoing was really my great undoing. And I'm like, it needs to be good. But I actually felt like it was nice that this book had a plot. I feel like Magnolia Parks didn't really have a plot. It was kind of more character driven, but it's like we were following Julian as well, which is Daisy's older brother, and I'm rooting for him too. I don't know, I love the way this ended. It kind of ended more on a cliffhanger, more so than Magnolia Parks, so I'm more excited to read Daisy Haites. I do love the representation in Magnolia Parks. I think it's great, but I love it. I'm sorry. I do. Okay, I ranted for so long. Now we're gonna get into, oh, I have two more. Okay, I'm gonna just quickly tell you the two books that I'm currently reading. I'm reading Preacher by Amin Cain. I'm like, I think 86% of the way through this book. It's super thin. It's 130 pages. I really cannot tell you what this book is about. This is my subway books. This is what I read on the subway. To look like that mysterious girl, but I really love Indelicacy by her, and I highly recommend that book. That's like another one of my top favorite books, which is so random, but I love it. But this book kind of, I'm trying to review because I was trying to figure out like how I would describe this if I were to review it, and she kind of just really writes about loneliness and being alone, but in the best way possible. Like, I love her writing so much, and I just, each chapter you connect with the character in a different way, and it's like almost like a mini story. If you're looking for a quick read, I would say pick this up. I do want to go back through and like tab it again. Now we're gonna move on to, oh sorry, I lied. The second book I'm reading is on my Kindle Unlimited, and it's The Housemaid. That was one of the top books on Goodreads from last year. I think it won the award, and I'm like 60% of the way through it. I'll probably finish it tonight, knowing me, and it's so good. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm already in part 2, so kind of excited, on edge, and I really want to finish reading it. Okay, so we're gonna get on to my physical TBR for February. It's something light because I don't really think I'll have that much time to read. So we're gonna start off by, I'm gonna put that back. No, I'm gonna read it. Okay, I'll start off by reading A Long Way Home by Jessa Hastings. This is the second book in the Magnolia Parks universe, and I'm excited to read. It's just a really thick book. I just don't really like Magnolia right now, and I'm hoping that this book will change my perspective a little bit, but we'll see. This is still following her in BJ. The next book I have is, I think it's 84th Sharing Crossroad by Helen Hannah. You guys can read it for yourself. This is actually a classic, I think, and it's just a bunch of letters. Oh, it's actually a correspondence between Helen, who is a freelance writer in New York City, and a used book dealer, and they kind of like bond over their mutual love for books, and you can just see how their relationship grows through these letters, and you can see like how they develop more of a connection over time. So I'm really excited to read this. This can be my second subway book that I read. Okay, the next book I have, I think, hopefully by the time I finish both those, it'll be like February 14th, and I can get to Love in Other Words because Sara Carolli has mentioned it a lot, and I watch a lot of her videos, and I'm gonna read what she reads. And I've heard that this is a really cute friend to lover story. It goes back from past and present tense. Really don't know too much about this. I know that they were friends growing up, like they went to the same beach house, I think. Yeah, they would spend their weekends together and lazy summers in a house outside of San Francisco, and as they got older they started to grow apart, and something happened, I think, and that's like the reason why they started to grow apart. So you like follow that throughout the story. I've heard a lot of good things about this book, not just from Sara Carolli but from other people as well, and so I'm excited to read it this month. I also have The Guest List by Lucy Foley. I'm gonna start adding more thrillers to my TBRs. I've been meaning to read this. I've had it for a while, and everyone I'm sure knows about this book because it's in Reese's book club. I've heard also from Sara Carolli that, like, you know, her writing's really engaging, but people like kind of guess the ending, and I really don't care. As long as it keeps me engaged through the end, you know, I'll be fine with it. Again, chapters are short, Maya is happy, the end. And then the last book that I have on here, oh my, a book that comes out literally tonight at midnight, I think, is The Final Offer by Lauren Asher, and that is the last book in the Dreamland Billionaire series, and I'm gonna cry because I love that series so much, and I'm so excited. That's another series that has a lot of POC representation, Slay the House, and I loved reading that series. So, you know, if you want to read a romance book, I don't know if it's because it's kind of based off of like Disneyland, and I just love like reading about like creative things, so I love getting to see, and I'm forgetting her name, Declan and Iris. See, the only thing is between the two books, I feel like they had like very similar plot lines. Like they're both grumpy, kind of sunshine. So If they could switch that up, that'd be nice. The next book I have is Berlin by Bea Setton, I think. And this follows Daphne, who is a PhD student moving from London to Berlin, and she's supposed to be kind of like this unreliable narrator. If you read the back, she like lies a couple times on it, and it's really funny. It's supposed to be very similar to My Year Rest Relaxation, and I love that book. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this book. Oh, another thing, it's very similar to Daisy Haites, where there's footnotes at the bottom so you can kind of like get in her thoughts, which I love reading. Like I love being like, oh, but what does she actually think? Like she said this, but like what's going on, you know? So that's gonna be super fun to follow, and it seems like it's gonna be super fast paced. I haven't really heard too many things about this book. And that is it for this month's reading wrap up and next month's TBR. I am so excited for all the books that I'm gonna get to this year. If you enjoyed watching this, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. So yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.